Good evening. This evening I'd like to talk about metal screw type bushings and how to put them together. So what we have here is an upper control arm off of a 1964 Chevrolet C10 Pickup. And this is completely assembled and torqued down. We've got the rubber boots in here, and you can see the pivot shaft still pivots. So let's see if we can put this one together. Now, what the manual says, what they want you to do, step number 3, start the new bushings on the shaft and into the control arm. Adjust the shaft until it is centered in the control arm. Then turn the bushings in and torque to 140 to 160 foot-pounds for CP10, 170 to 190 for C20 and C30 if a spacer is used, 80 to 100 for CP10, 105 to 120 for C20 and 30 if no spacer is used. Check the shaft for free rotation. An important thing to note is you want to clean these things up, the threads and the bushings. And I have in fact cleaned these up. So we start this by hand. And I tighten it all the way down. Okay, that's all the way down. Then we got to put these bushings on, the rubber bushings. And it goes so the cup goes out. And then there's no fun way to do this. You just have to squeeze it in there. And then screw the pivot shaft into the steel bushing. Now they said be careful about centering it. If you install this thing correctly, it'll spin and go anywhere you want it to go. So here's the second metal bushing, and it starts on the shaft. Now it won't do this unless you cleaned all the threads out. Ouch. So tighten it all the way down. That's up against it. And now we'll put this pivot shaft in the center. And you can see it does turn freely. So I got both the rubber grommets pushed up against it. And now we have a free swinging upper control arm. Let's do a lower. It's done the same way. Now there's a couple things to note on this. It does rotate. There's this dimple. This dimple goes forward on the forward part of the control arm, and an easy way to tell if the dimple's in the right spot is where the shock mount is. So in fact, this dimple on this control arm is in the wrong spot. It's supposed to be on the front of the arm. So let's take it apart. Oh, and this is a 1 5/8. Now again, I only took this one side out. pivot shafts out, and we have the dimple to the rear. We'll put a little grease in there. We'll get the rubber bushings, and again, the bigger part faces out. And this time I'm going to unscrew this. Dimple away from the shock mount. And there's no easy way to do this. This is a struggle. That's 120. Okay, now the trick is, does this still spin? And it sure enough does, just like it should. And that's how you do steel threaded bushings on anything that's got steel threaded bushings, but particularly a 1964 C10 pickup. Thank you for watching. There'll be more.